Stachey. That's right. Today, we're talking about mustaches. For BK, why? Why are we talking about facial hair? Because it's awesome. He's like, who should be on the Mount Rushmore of facial hair? And you know who I thought of? You know who? I know that you know that I know that you know that I know who we're talking about. Because you know that guy, Donnie Baseball. Of course, we're talking about Donnie Baseball. Look at him. He's got the stash. It's iconic. Have you ever seen Donnie without the stash? It's weird. It doesn't make sense. Nobody understands what is he doing without the stash. Look at that. Look at that. Of course he has a stash. That's what he does. One of the greatest baseball players of the 80s has and was almost always rocking the stash. He looks so weird without it. We're going to talk about Donnie in his prime. Donnie Prime Stachio. We're going to take a look at Donnie through the year, and so you understand why Donnie Baseball deserves to be on the Mount Rushmore of mustaches. Stay tuned. Here we go. All right, so now we need to get down to business. Let me just remind you of why Don Mattingly will get into the Hall of Fame next year. Played for the Yankees from 82 to 95. He did get some playing time in 83, but really his rookie year is 84. After he retired in 95, what he said was, of course, he was having some back issues, but because he took too much BP, swung too hard. He was just too amazing that God struck him down and said, "Now your back's gonna hurt." He's like, you know what? My boys are getting a little bit older and they don't like coming to the ballpark anymore. And he's like, I'd rather be a dad. So he had to choose between, he said he could have continued to play, or be a dad. And so he's like, nah, I'm going back to Evansville, Indiana. I'm going to go do the dad thing. And, I'm sure he does not regret that at all. So if you have to choose, after his playing days, his boys got a little older and he started coaching and managing in 2004. As a player, 6-time All-Star, 9 Gold Gloves, 3-time Silver Slugger, 85 MVP, and as a manager, 2020 Manager of the Year with the Marlins. That's just a little bit of Donnie. The Yankees loved him. Yankees captain, numbers retired, all around great guy, great coach. Have you ever heard anything bad about Don Mattingly? No, because there isn't anything. The only thing bad is that he had a restaurant in Evansville and it closed before I got to go there. So that's it. Let's look at some stashes. 84 Columbus Clippers. Shout out to Stuke who hooked me up with this one. Clean shaven Donnie. It's weird. 84 Tops. It's weird. Clean shaven here. But he's starting to man up a little bit right there. Classic, iconic card. Love it. Love that card. And then we have, this is my most beloved card. This, not the specific one. The specific love of my I call it my burning building card is up on the wall over here. But I love this card so much. The 84 Fleer will always have a special place in my heart, as well as the 84 5 o'clock shadow card. Not quite the stash, but he's got a little shadow. He's got a little man coming in on his face, and that is it. So he does have some cards, I believe, from in 82 and 83. I don't have them. So that's it. I consider myself a super collector. I don't know what the number is. If there's a number to be a super collector, I might not be there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some great stash cards for every year. So that was 84. Here is my submission for 1985. Look at that. That man has a great nose tickler right there. That one, yeah, that's good. That's not a rookie stash. Although we saw him in 84, didn't have much of one, but that is not a rookie stash. That is a really, really great stash. And it's so good that when they did the Diamond Kings, they went ahead and gotta have it. I mean, he might have got the Diamond Kings because of the stash. I don't know. I haven't heard anybody that said that's not the case, so it might be. Stay tuned for 1986. 1986 was a good year for Donnie. Look at this big O 86 tops right there. That is a beauty. That is a beauty. He didn't mess around. I mean, that is large and in your face. Here's a, oh, that's not the best looking one for the stash though. Yeah, how about this little nose tickler right there? He's got the little handlebar starting to come down. He's going from this a little bit. He's going a little further down. He's not messing around. He's got his long hair starting to work on that mullet that he was famous for. He got somehow national news attention. That is, how about a whole page? Come on now. That is a nice, solid, full-looking stash. Worthy of Mount Stashmore. I know you're like, well, Justin, what about 1987? What did he do then? Besides crushing the ball and being one of the best baseball players in baseball, he had that stash. And look at the eyes. He's like a Western hero. Like if he had a cowboy hat on and a 6-shooter on his hip, you'd be like, yeah. Wyatt Earp. That is this guy right here. Also, looks like he might have just gotten off his Harley after a long day of drinking. I'm telling you, that stash, that's got some stories. 1988. I mean, he was one of the biggest names in baseball. He was everywhere. He was amazing. And the whole time when he was in front of the world, he had that lip warmer right there. That is a good one. That is a great. See, still has just a little bit of the handlebar. He's not going too short. Can't go too short. Get nice and thick. Just a little bit at where the crease is. Still looking pretty solid. Pretty much like it did the previous year. Still super solid. 1989. Come on. The 80s are almost done. Think this 90s generation, they don't know what they're talking about. Let me show you something that you might not have seen before. This is the 1989, these are the postcard set. A little more unusual. Oh, here's a good one. Oh, so this one, there you go. It's just happy. Business. Now, business, he looks like he got a little shorter. Maybe that's why he's grumpy. He got a little shorter down there. Not quite over the lip. Yep. Just a good-looking stash. Good-looking stash. Oh, and thank you. He appreciates that comment. As well he should, being the greatest baseball player with the greatest fans on the planet. I'm telling you, it's if little fat kids in Plano, Texas love you, man, you're doing something right. Stayed out of the controversy. What was it? What did he get? What was controversial about him? He didn't want to cut off his mullet. I mean, if I had a sweet mullet like that, I wouldn't want to cut mine either. Let me see if I can find. No, I don't know if I have a picture of the mullet. But if I did, you'd be like, yeah, I'm keeping that for sure. Topps did a good job of focusing on the stash. 1989. See how we did in the 90s. Shout out to 23 Monch. Look at that. That's a good one. That is a good one. 1990 rolls around, and then bam, right up top, Bowman, 1990. Look at that. Look at his little hair coming back there. Starting to get a little long. He's like, yeah, I know what's going on here. Man, 1990. I miss 1990. It was a fantastic year. I'd do it again. I'd do it right now. Any more iconic cards? I mean, he's back to kind of where he was. He's not messing around. He knows what he likes. That's a good length for him. It's not getting a bunch of food in it. He doesn't have anything down there bothering him when he's sleeping at night, not getting a rash with or heat burn or anything right there. He's looking good. He's looking real good. But how did he look in 1991? Shout out to Monch. Check that one out. Isn't that cool? That's so cool. Man, 23 Monch is very talented and a super nice guy. Okay, 91. 91 was a good year, of course. Love it. Donnie Baseball. Stash alert. Stachey-Stache alert. Mustachio. How about this one? How about that one? You know how you know this is iconic? Because the pictures that you see of Donnie without the mustache, you just think, that's wrong. That is very wrong. That doesn't look right at all. Why did he do that? He needs to get rid of that. Let's see what 1992 looks like. We're starting to get towards his retirement. His back's hurting at this point, but I wonder if he still has the strength to keep his mustache perfectly coiffed. Yes, of course he does. 1992 was just fine for the stash. In fact, look at him. He's throwing. He's like, I can do this. I'm not worried about the pain. He is worried about the pain. But right here, he's like, I'm gonna get through this. Not worried about it. I get paid to play baseball. I have the best fans in the world, especially that little fat kid Justin in Texas. He really likes me. In fact, he went to a game and like called me out, and I didn't hear him, but the guy behind him. Oh, here's the story. I went to a baseball game with my mom on a school night. Freaking awesome. Go down to by the visitors dugout, pull out my little crappy camera, and I'm like, Mr. Mattingly, Mr. Mattingly, Mr. Mattingly. He doesn't hear me. And then, of course, there's a guy over there who says, hey, Don, look at the kid. And then so he gives me a little hi. He gives me a little wave. And I got to take that picture. I have no idea where that picture is. I wish I did. It would be in my binder right now. But even as a youngster, I was polite. But how did Donnie's stash look in 1993? Well, it's looking pretty good right there. Although I don't think that's 1993. Might be. I'd have to look it up. Still, like quasi-handlebar-ish. That is not the best look. But look, that is a nice, full stash from future Hall of Famer Don Arthur Mattingly, the Hitman. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even get in his eyes. Like, he's good. The stash actually, like whiskers, helps him avoid objects that he's not looking at. Didn't have to run into the wall or anything. And in fact, when he does run into the ball, he just grabs some popcorn. Like his whiskers tell him, go grab some popcorn. And he's down for that. Look at this. Oh my gosh. That little butt chin. Great, full, thick mustache right there. Yeah, he's not messing around. Okay, how about 1994? 94, he's having injuries. It's getting rough. And although he's having injuries, you know what he is also doing? Signing autographs for kids at the ballpark, smiling, being awesome, and wearing a great stash. Great guy, great stash. My grandmother, who was a she was a Brooklyn Dodgers girl, said Don Mattingly was a bum. In fact, whenever I referred to Don Mattingly, she was like, oh, that bum. And that was because after one of those games that I got to go on a school night, my mom let me stay extra late to try to get his autograph. There was a little hotel that was close to the ballpark where all the players used to stand. And people used to still go over there and try to get him from the bus to the hotel where they had to walk to get autographs. And he didn't sign autographs for anybody. They probably lost to the Rangers. He was probably in a bad mood. And that'll do it. Although, man, if he would have stopped for 5 minutes to sign my little autograph book, which is what I'm sure I had, or my mitt, that would have just made my life. That would have been amazing. But he didn't. And evermore, my grandmother referred to him as the bum. But let's see how the bum looked in 95. 1995 was rough. It was rough. I don't know what to say. I mean, 95, I am still a Mattingly fan. I'll tell you what, girls were a lot cuter than Donnie in baseball. So I was not collecting cards. I really wasn't paying attention. I was mostly in my own world, which consisted of lots of sports and girls. That's what it was. And check this out. He was nice enough to give me his credit card number anytime I needed it. He's just like, hey, just show the stash, show the credit card, and you'll get taken care of. And I really appreciate that about him. There have been times where he has had a longer, more handlebar-y mustache, although I'm having a hard time finding some of those images. And to be fair, there are some cards throughout this stint where he is clean shaven, so he'll pull it off probably for a wedding or something. You know how wives are, and then he'll throw it back on. Just let it come back naturally the way God intended. And but that is pretty much it for his playing days. To Donnie's mustache and to BK and all the Stachey-Stache bros. I salute you. Hope you have a wonderful time, a wonderful night. And yeah, you knew I was going to talk about Donnie, right? There's pretty much no chance. You're like, oh, well, let's talk about Raleigh Fingers. Let's talk about so-and-so. No chance. No chance. I can show his manager cards. Mostly his manager cards at that age. He's all clean shaven. And he's going gray. He's getting older. That kind of happens. So he's been pretty much clean shaven since sometime in the late 90s. But yeah, it's old Donnie baseball. Future Hall of Famer. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Where's he going to go? Where's he going to manage? I've heard rumors about Milwaukee. You know, he's got a 10-year-old son, so that might have been part of the I don't want to be in Toronto so much, since his kids are still, I think they're still in Evansville. I don't know that for a fact, though. It would be weird, right? It would be weird if I knew that much about him. Like if I was like, oh, well, his favorite restaurant's blah, 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 and he likes to order blah, blah, blah for dessert. That would be so creepy to have strangers know that about you. But now I want to know. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bunch of nerds.